Hello everybody, I'm here to continue working on my gratitude journal. So tonight I want to add some gesso, and I want to add some Titan Buff paint through a stencil. And if that goes well, then I want to do some stamping, but we'll see how far I get. Okay, so I'm just going to knock back some of this bright color using the gesso, and it's just going to be, pretty much everywhere. Wherever I think it needs, it's not sticking, but I'll come back to it in a minute. Where I think it needs to be a little less bright. And I gotta try not to let these pages stick together as I'm doing this. I hope you're all doing well. We have a temperature drop. It's 50 degrees right now. It's 9 o'clock, 9-ish, and it's 50 degrees and raining. No rhyme, no reason exactly about, what I'm doing and where I'm putting this gesso, just kind of everywhere to knock it back a little bit. Almost done. I think this one, this page right here is not, it's going to be covered with the cover of the journal. I did not stop, but it's going to be covered up, so it doesn't really matter. So, let's see. I'm going to need to hit this with the heat tool. Put the top back on this. It's already kind of getting a little bit hard, so I want to make sure I cover it. I've had it in that little container for the longest time. My goal is to finish this before the end of the month, and so that we can get started the 1st of November on actually doing the pages, the spreads for the gratitude. And I've been thinking a little bit about what I want to do. If you have thoughts about what you'd like to see, just drop me a note in the comment section, and I'll see what I can do. I know I'm going to do some fall things like pumpkins and I don't know exactly what else, but I know I'm going to do some pumpkins. I love to paint pumpkins this time of year. I am not a Halloween person, so I know that that's coming up too, but I'm not going to celebrate Halloween for various reasons. And I'm in this apartment where, it's a locked apartment, and, nobody can get in to just come in here and trick or treat or anything like that, so I don't have to worry about that. So there won't be any witches or brooms or cauldron pots in this gratitude journal. Little black cats. All right, it's not exactly dry, but I think it's dry enough for me to move on and do something else. So what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I put the stencils away. I thought I kept them all out, but obviously I didn't. But anyway, so I'm gonna use stencils that I think will kind of work for what I want to accomplish. And this too is a process to actually knock it back even more. And I'm using this Lucas. It's not a heavy body acrylic. It's kind of a liquid sort of medium sort of body paint. Now I had a makeup sponge out, and right now I don't see it. Okay, that's good. I don't want to have to dig for another one. All right, so I've got this bit of paint. I hope you can see that bit of paint, and I'm going to put it through this stencil to start with. And I'll use multiple stencils. I'm not doing this whole stencil. I'm just gonna do parts of it. Not expecting to really be able to see. That's one reason I couldn't tell what stencils I had used, because it wasn't used to, to highlight the stencil. It was used to just, again, knock back some of the color. Let's see, let me switch it up and do a different one. Now, the secret to doing, that using acrylic paint or watercolor paint or anything, well, acrylic paint really, if you're trying to do acrylic paint through a stencil, you don't want to load your tool up with a ton of paint, because it will seep underneath the stencil. But I'm not really that concerned about it, because, like I said, I'm not really interested in being able to see and tell what stencil I used. I just wanted to work on the color a bit. Okay, I've got another one, a favorite, not my favorite stencil, but my favorite thing, one of my favorite things is circles. And I think you know that. If you've watched me at all, you know that by now. I've been working on some, trying to build up my stash of papers. I've been doing this for a long time, but mostly I've done watercolor, so I don't have a lot of acrylic papers, painted papers. So I've been working a little bit. I worked on, using a jelly plate. If you've never worked on a jelly plate, they're a lot of fun. And I've never really felt like I was very good at it. So I'm trying to work on that. And then I'm actually watching another person that I follow on YouTube, and she's building a stash of papers using all kinds of different techniques. And at some point, maybe I'll share that, some of what I've learned from her. Okay, I don't need to worry about that. Okay, let's see if I need anything anywhere else. Okay, it's good. So I'm going to hit it again with the heat gun. This is fairly thin, a fairly thin layer of paint, so it shouldn't take that long for this to dry. And then I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. I have my script stamp, and I have the one that looks like a sewing machine stitching, in case you don't have a sewing machine and you want to have something that looks like stitches. You can always do slow stitching or something else, some other kind of stitches if you want threads on your work, even if you don't have a sewing machine. All right, so now let me get these out of the way. And I've got, let's see if I've got water handy. I put that sponge in the water, and that way it won't harden. Even if it did harden, you can always cut that in, the hardening end off and continue using the sponge. But if I drop it in water, then I can rinse it out and it'll be fine. I'm gonna put, there are a few places that I saw that weren't sticking all that well. Picked up a few brushes on the way. Let me find them later. Okay, so I've got my black archival ink, and I have my script stamp, and I don't know which one this is, but you can, if you go on Amazon, you can find script stamps. Find one that you like. And I'm not going to use the whole stamp. I'm just stamping little bits of it. Oh, there's one in the fold again. And you flip it around and get the other side of the stamp. Okay, don't need to do that. All right, I've got, I have this circle stamp that I'm going to use. Again, and the black stays on. Okay. And then here I've got the one that has the stitching. And I'm gonna apply the ink that way. I've actually got two different ones, different stamps, stitch stamps. Okay, now I've also got this piece here. It's I'm not going to stamp the entire stamp, so I'm going to take it off the block and just do parts of it. Trying to move the stamp around so I don't get the same bits every time. Okay, let's see if I've got any places that I want to add something. There go circles again. I do love me some circles. I think this little section that has the squares on it is kind of interesting too. I like that. Okay, so I think we are done with that. And let me think a minute if oh, I know what I need to do. The last thing I did, I believe, on the other side was to add some coffee. And I've got my coffee right here. This is, you know, it will keep for a while if you keep it sealed up. If you have it for a really long time, you might want to put it in a refrigerator. And I believe you can drop some clove into it, and that will sort of, that will make it last longer without, you know, with the mold and all that stuff that you would get otherwise. I think clove is a, I don't know, and I don't know how the property works, but I know it does work because I've used it before. Working really fast tonight. Not sure why. I just feel like I had a lot to do to get preservative. That's what I was trying to think of. Serves as a preservative. And coffee, if you don't like the smell of coffee or the color of coffee, you can use tea. You could brew some black tea or regular tea. And give this a similar effect. Okay, I'm gonna dry it one more time. And then I think we'll be done for the night. If you, excuse me, my voice is cracking. If you have an Instagram page or you have a Facebook page, excuse me, Facebook page, if you will, put a comment, I will follow you. If you want me to, if you don't want me to, don't put it in there. But I like to keep up with, what you're doing, and I have put my pages in there before, but I'll put it in this one again, just so you'll have it. You don't have to go back and look for it. This is not all going to be dry. It's come down into those creases and it'll take a while for it to dry. But I think this is the last thing that I need to do on this. I was trying to decide if I wanted to put the cover on it now or if I want to put it on when I'm finished. It's easy. It'll obviously be easier to work with, but I'll think about it. And I've got my covers ready to go. I just need to glue them on. And I'm going to use Yes Paste for that. Well, I had both of them here. Where did the other one go? I don't know. But this is let's see, this is the back. And this is the front. And this one gets covered up. And somewhere, oh, here it is. I have the back cover. So it's going to look like that. And it'll open up to the side that we worked on first. And we'll go through it this way. And that's the back. And then we'll go through it this way. And I can't remember now. Let's see how many spreads we have. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what I was thinking, there were 13, but I'm not sure. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it is 12. Okay, so it will be 12. And then at some point I'm going to decorate the cover with something, a flower or something, I don't know. Well, I'll figure that out as I go. But anyway, that's it for tonight. And next time, we may be working on the first page. We'll see. Would be this one. I have an idea. I think probably we're going to do the pumpkin. Do a pumpkin. Let me spread this out so it doesn't stick together or so, and allow it to dry. So thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time.